Hi, everyone. So I just forgot which day was today. So Sunday. So thank you all who are here uh, on a Sunday, watching me here, listening to me, and doing this with me. So thank you for this, and not being doing other things because it's Sunday. But anyway, some of you maybe are in quarantine, so it's the same. So today we have to work the with the plexus, but in the physical aspect. So it will be the pancreas. So I was just saying in Spanish that maybe some of you would see that my hair is more fine now, and this is because it's been thick when I have learned how to wash my hair. So it's been like 25 years I've been washing it wrong. And never it's too late to learn something. And but I'm alone, so I have to learn how to wash myself again. Anyway, nobody here to smell. Once I said this, let's go to work with the information of today. We have been working yesterday with the heart, and now we work with the plexus. It's the chakra that helps us to be related with the external reality and also to bring all the information from the external to the inner reality to integrate it within ourselves. Today, in today's post on the blog, I wrote about falling in love. Usually we may think that the love, we as humans believe that love is something related with the heart, but it's not precisely that. It's more related with the plexus. Basically, the reason why we used to relate love with the heart is because when we feel that emotion, what happens is that the pulses, the electrical pulses of the body, starts to push the heart to, how do you say, dilatar? Sorry, I'm waiting to expand. Dilatate? Okay. The heart starts to dilatate and contract, so the veins can push more blood around, so we feel like the heartbeat. So this brings and this take all the blood all around to feed with to feed the organs and the muscles with nutrients and so on. So this is kind of a not lovely way to describe how we feel love. Whole blood and running and the heart dilatating is, but it's like that. So basically, the reason why we relate the heart with this is because the heart is just pushing and moving the blood around, but it's not because of the heart. It's because of the need of each one of the cells to absorb the nutrients and the sugar, okay, that has the energy to make us feel full, plenty, and that's what we call love, that feeling. So basically, the one that needs to absorb these nutrients from the blood is the pancreas that sends the insulin to the blood so it could catch the sugar in the blood so it could go and feed the cells. So basically, who ask for the heart to beat faster so it could distribute blood perfectly around the whole body would be the pancreas. Y esta es la sensación que en realidad podemos reconocer con el enamoramiento, que es esa sensación que solemos sentir y llamamos mariposas en el estómago. So to fall in love would be that feeling that we may have felt someday, which we used to call to feeling butterflies in the stomach. Basically, when we culturally, we would say this sentence that is full belly, happy heart. I don't know if you have it in English, but when we say that, it's because we culturally relate to be in love with feeling plenty, with feeling full. So I have everything that I need. I am full of everything. So it's like you have eaten everything that you needed. So that's why your heart is happy. Basically, what the body does is to, we say that we feel ourselves plenty and full when we fell in love, because our body identified to be in love with have it very well. So this is why, well, this is a funny way to kill romanticism. But anyway, it's kind of how it is. So what we relate with to fall in love is the seek of feeling yourself full or plenty. And this is why through all the history we have related love with food. So basically, since we are born in this world, we relate the first love of our life with the mother. And the love of the mother is because mother gives you the milk, the first meal that you have. So you relate the first meal with the love of mom. So another thing is, I recognize the love of the family when we sit all together to have a meal, to eat. So eating unites us. So this is why in most of the cultures, one of the most and the biggest proofs of love that you have with someone is to invite that someone to eat. I guess that happened to you. We usually, when we want to show love to our friends, to someone new, whatever, the thing that we used to do is to invite them for dinner, invite them for a meal, to go outside to drink something. This is also something that we relate with the first date, like to go out for a dinner, to eat something. Maybe you bought, or someone bought to you chocolate, sugar. So basically, now you can picture that in all of the cultures, we relate love with eating. And the reason why this happens is because who interprets love in our body is the pancreas. And the reason why this happens is because the pancreas creates the insulin that will catch the carbohydrates. How do you say that in English? I don't know. The carbs, maybe, the calories, the sugar, the glucose in the blood, so it could create the energy to feed the cells. About falling in love, what we are describing from the point of view of the soul is the process of the emotional insulin. Now we shouldn't say, I love you with all my heart. We should say, I love you with all my pancreas. Maybe we'll be like weird, but we will be very original. What it is to fall in love then? To fall in love is the process that begins when my spirit, my soul, myself starts to need something in order to evolve, to move forward. And so it jumps to the outside to look for that energy that can help me to fulfill that need. Maybe you have noticed this, but when you fall in love, you feel a lot of energy to do many things. The reason why we feel like this is because we are acquiring that energy from the outside, and we have a lot of energy within to make things because we have possessed this energy inside our body. So we would say that love is the glucose of the universe. I am destroying the romanticism in 10 minutes. So this means that what we are doing when we get in love is to assimilate energy to accomplish our goals, our purpose in life. This is why when we get in love and suddenly we accomplish what we were expecting to accomplish, we stop being in love and suddenly we don't feel much more love. So one of the paths from that moment when you stop falling in love, this path is when you say, I had accomplished everything, so I don't need this person anymore. I don't love this person or this thing anymore. I just have to, I just fall in love for other thing or for other person. Sometimes what we can feel is that that person makes us remember so much about our oldest I, the myself from the past, that we feel that that person is pushing us back. And this is the moment when we stop falling in love with that person and suddenly we just hate that person. But it's not that we hate that person. It's instead what happens is that that person reminds us about our old self. So basically, to fall in love is to have the energy to be able to transform yourself constantly into new things. So this is why when we have an environment that is constantly the same, we stop being in love and we are hungry. This is one of the sentences that we can use that like, I am hungry for new things, for new emotions. So this is good because we learn that we need to change the environment in order to go ahead to transform ourselves. The problem that we have in our cultures is that we put the partnership, we put the marriage like in the level of divinity, and we kind of romanticize the concept of the partner. This is the thing that we created as the idea that we have to find someone that makes us feel like complete, and then I have to respect that someone until I die. But this is not something universal. This is something very cultural from our time. So the reason why today is so important for us is because most of the globalized civilization that we have today were born from the monotheistic religion. So they wanted to create this idea, okay? But most of the cultures from the past didn't have that. And also, for example, we took the idea of the twin souls or twin flames, I don't know how to call it, And we also romanticize that, like if it is something from our culture, from the Indo-European cultures, when for sure for example, the twin souls are more related with the universal mitosis than with the love of partners, of two people. So basically, what we used to express and project in the universe is mostly a projection from our cultures. All the things that we used to call like the partnership, the marriage, they are all institutions from our cultures and society, but they have nothing in common with our body, with what we really are. So this is why when I become aware of myself and suddenly I fall in love with my own self, is the moment when the most of the divorces happens in our society. So basically, we have come here to this reality to transform ourselves constantly. So to be constantly in the same way basically keeps us trapped in limitations. But remember, I was just talking about this path. Now we are going to speak about the path. So unconditional love would be that I understand why that person appears in my life and what's the purpose of that person in my life or that thing in my life. And suddenly I just dare myself to fall in love again by creating a new project, a new thing ahead for both of us. Or I can look for another thing, for another person, for another thing to do, but still being in love and to love that other person as a partner for the whole life. So by unconditional love, I don't break and escape from the system. What I do is to transform the system and integrate the system. So in unconditional love, what happens is that you understand that you can do other things, that you can love that person and to create a new project to fall in love together, or suddenly you just realize that you can become, even if you split, you can become best friends because now you understood the importance of that person and you can still love it. But also what you can do is just to say, I don't want to leave this person, but I know I have to do something different. So maybe you have to take a trip for your own, to do something different, to do something new by yourself in order to get that fall in love again with life. So this is not specifically related with people, with partner, marriage. Can be any person, can be any concept. Maybe you can fall in love with your work. Maybe it's just other things. It should be things from where you take energy to keep going, to transform yourself. So when I feel that I hadn't been loved, when I cannot love myself, when I cannot do new things and I feel stuck and I don't feel the energy that makes me feel alive, all of that energies, all of that knowledge would be the things that made my pancreas get ill. So basically, when you have a problem, if you have any problem in the pancreas, you have to think about what is your relation with others through love. If you are able to love, if nobody is loving you, if you have all your problems in your relationships with everybody. So now we can picture that falling in love and being in love is not something from the heart and that you can feel from one person to another. It's basically your being trying to have the energy in order to do things, okay? And that energy comes from the universe. So this is why the questions that we have to do for today is how it was the first time we fell in love. How was the first time we fell in love? So try to remember, what have you felt with that love? What have you projected with that love? So remember that the first time that we fell in love in our lives would describe the idea of how our body interpreted that it loves to eat. That's the way in which the body wants to eat. So the reason why we need to understand this time we fell in love is because through our life, we start to repeat the same things once and again when we fell in love. This is because it's our favorite dish. So now I will say an example that maybe all the descendants from Italy would hate, that it is, imagine that the first dish, the first meal that you just loved, not any pizza. It's a pizza, but it's not any pizza. It's the pizza with ananas. So you may say, I love ananas pizza, okay? And suddenly everyone, mostly Italians, would say, how can you enjoy that? It's disgusting. But you would say, no, I love the pizza with pineapple. I love it. I love pineapple. I love pizza, both together. I love it. All the people would say that's disgusting, but you keep doing it. You keep eating it because it was the first pizza you ever tasted, and it was good. So this is how the first time we fell in love would be exactly the same as our favorite dish, because it's like you will always ask for that dish through your life. Por eso es importante, this is why it's so important to go back and to understand how was the first encounter with the concept of falling in love in your life. Once I said this, I just want to eat a pizza with pineapple right now. But anyway, I don't have pizza with pineapple here. Let's go to the land. The vibration of today is the sound SIR. The code for today is the soul pattern PA. And it says, inside our home, we have the food that keeps us in the physical life that the universe created. The energy of the soul nourishes with the energy of the matter we consume. The PA sound radiates in the physical food, the one that keeps us alive, those that we need to subsist in a physical body, the fuel of life. So it's related with what we have spoken today. So, here I am a grid of entities. Let's go to that. So as always, we sit in a comfortable position and we begin massaging the body. Stretch the body, yawn. As I caress the body, I thank the body for being the physical expression of the spirit in the matter. Let the weight of your body fall down. Take a deep breath and start to focus only in your breathing. Become aware of the oxygen coming inside my body by each breathing. Through my nose, to the lungs, heart, blood, organs and muscles. Take a deep breath and become aware of each one of the cells, the thousands of the cells that build my body. And feel one of them, the ones that calls your attention, and head towards that. I get closer to this cell until I see it as a sphere in front of me, very big. And I recognize this is a mother cell. Take a deep breath and dive within the cell until you float in the cytoplasm. And from the core of the cell, take the chromosomes and start to unroll it until you feel the chains of DNA all through your fingers. Those are the codes that makes you be who you are. And now I recognize, watching around, that I am within the body of my mother. In a cell that now became an egg. Above me, I perceive the light of the I Am heading towards me with the shape of a spiral, the body of a spermatozoid. I perceive the spermatozoid touching the limit of this cell, changing its polarity, making it shine as a sun. Take a deep breath and allow this spermatozoid shining with the light of the I Am to come within my body. Take a deep breath and perceive the spiral light of the I Am coming through the crown, the third eye, the throat, heart, and plexus. And from there, its genetical material starts to be spread towards the sacrum, the root, knees, and feet. And because of this, I start to perceive how my cell starts to divide, doing meiosis. From my point of view, my cell is I, and in front of me, the other cell appearing is I am. I become aware that from this point, my cells are going to be spread and expanded, looking for the energy that feed the cells to expand, to grow, and to create. So this is the moment when I recognize that myself starts to fall in love with life. Acknowledging this, by love, I feel how these two cells divide in 4, and then in 8, and so in 16, and so on, looking for the creation of the organs on the body. As I feel the cells expand, I perceive how they create the organs: heart, lungs, pancreas, brain, stomach, intestines. Every organ, muscle, and bone. I become aware that the love of the spirit has become in the energy of the soul that now is the meal, cell. So all my body is built by love, and each one of the cells in my body is in love with me, their source of energy. Everything that I do now, everything that I love now, will create love for life. I become aware of my feet, my legs, hands and arms, and my head. And with sound, I start to push for my love to the beyond. So I go outside the body of my mother, feeling the light in the crown, the third eye, throat, heart, and the plexus. Feel half of your body outside in the light. And it's now with the plexus outside that I recognize that every person, every being that will get to love in my life will build what I am, will feed what I am. For I am a greed of entities. I am a greed of entities. I am a greed of entities. I take my hands to my heart. I recognize that I am love. And everything I fall in love with in my life will feed what I am. So I remember I am a greed of entities. All of them united with me, with unconditional love. Take a deep breath and begin to bring all this information through all your body. Massaging, caressing, stretching, and yawning. So remember, drink a lot of water and rest a lot so you can integrate this information. So from all the love of my pancreas, see you tomorrow at the same time as always. See you tomorrow.